Yep, Mother Nature knows exactly when it's cotton picking time.
Don't look like they're gonna get fired up today.
Like somebody had car problems, but they were nice enough to leave a note.
I definitely appreciate it when stuff like this happens and people leave a note so we know what's going on. So anyway, guess we'll leave it there, and if they happen to show back up whenever we're here, we'll help them put their belt back on.
Tennessee Snow 2022 is ready to begin. All right, here we go. Uh-oh, I gotta take my header locks off first. Be back in a minute. All right, take two. There we go. Cotton going in the basket. Woo! No alarms going off yet. No smoke, no fire, no oil blowing out anywhere. Guess we put everything back together right on this picker. Man, look at that, ain't that pretty. Ain't nothing like picking some cotton. All right, what we got to do first before we get blowing and going is we got to get our yield monitor calibrated here. But to do that, I want to be in some good cotton. So we're going to pick the inrows here on this little field. We're going to dump it in the bowl buggy, and then we'll do a calibration load on the yield monitor. Kelly's going to bring a cotton trailer over here, and we'll dump it into the cotton trailer and then take it over to the gin and have it weighed. And then, as long as none of the spindles are wrapping up, everything else looks good on the picker, we should be ready to get some of this fine cotton out of the field. All right, we got the inrows picked. Now we're going to dump it here in the bowl buggy and get ready for our calibration load. We got close to a full basket. got our basket picked for our calibration load, and we're going to dump it here on the trailer. Let Kelly carry it off to the gin, get it weighed. Then we'll bring this cotton trailer back here to the farm, give the kids something to play in here. Plus, if we need to dump a little bit more in there because we don't have enough cotton to make a module, we'll have it there for that too. I know Kelly's gonna love hauling that thing down the road. Alright, I know the monitor's blinking on the camera. That's just the refresh rate of the screen. But anyway, Kelly just got the trailer weighed, and mule monitor says we harvested 4,251 pounds. Kelly had it weighed, and it is 4,700 pounds. Alright, so now she's calibrated. Ready to see what big numbers we might get up there now. Well, I think we got all the bugs and kinks worked out, and we're rolling along pretty good now. Got about 13 acres under our belts, and I think we got our worst cotton out of the way for the year. Those first few fields was you know, small and odd shaped. All they was inrows. You know, a lot of it kind of got trampled down, all the spraying that we had to do all year long. So now we're on a little bit bigger part of the farm, long straight rows right there, and really expect yields to climb. When we got into the better spots of the fields, a little bit deeper soil, and hadn't been driven on anything, I mean, we were seeing easily 1,500 pounds per acre. So there's definitely some good cotton out here, and I mean, like, I think this is probably going to be our worst farm. Right now our average after the first 13 acres sitting on about 950 pounds an acre. But like I said, a lot of that was just, you know, wasn't good. A lot of inrows, a lot of it being driven over. I tell you what, it looks like the top end on their crop is kind of being taken off. Now, if you look at it, it looks good, but if you look kind of towards the top of the plants, you know, you got a little bit darker colors. You know, we got bowls up there, but a lot of those bowls, as they opened up, they didn't fluff out. That 3/4 of an inch that we got a few days ago, right, I guess it must have hit those bowls right as they were cracked open and water got down in there, and they're hard locked. Plus, you know, the top bowls we saw were just barely mature or still slightly immature. In that case, we got a lot of them to open up, but they just didn't fluff out, and you know, this cotton's really not real showy compared to what, you know, we would like to see. Doesn't mean that the cotton's not there and it's not being harvested, it's just not really fluffed out and hanging out and showing out. And then also there's still some unopened bowls in there, unfortunately. Just this really cool weather that we've had has slowed down the efficacy of the defoliants that we used, and we got all the leaves to fall off good, but some of those bowls just not going to open up. I believe overall, from start to finish, this has been the coldest defoliation season that I've ever had. And I mean, I'm glad that we applied the defoliant when we did, and we got as good results as what we did, because I think if I'd waited another few days, I don't think I would have got as good of results. Or if I did, it would have been probably another week to 10 days from now, and you know, who knows what the weather's going to be like then. Hey, look at 1,550 pounds right through here. Woo! Man, some good cotton. And I think it's only going to go up from here. Man, I need to find my sunglasses. I might get some snow blindness out here. Well, we got our first two modules of the day built. It's kind of been slow going. We got a little bit different crew out here than what you're used to seeing. Of course, Zach's not with us anymore, so we got Nate out here and trying to teach him how to build a module, and you know, how to be quick about it, and then, you know, get tarps out, make sure it's ready to go, so, you know, we're not having to do any sitting around waiting. Hopefully we'll get him up to speed here soon. Got a father-in-law on the second module builder. It's been 2 years since he's run a module builder, because, you know, we didn't use the second one last year, so he's had to remember how to do it all. And then normally got one of my landlords out here, Roy, running the bush hog, cutting stalks behind me. But since we are now the parents of a homeschooler, got Carter out here on the bush hog cutting stalks. He really wanted to do it, been itching to do it for a while. So he's going to try and make sure to get all his schoolwork done first thing in the morning, then come out around 10, 11 o'clock and cut stalks. I know he's really enjoying the opportunity. He loves driving that John Deere 4440 tractor. You know, I hate we're not going to have Roy here, because I know he really enjoyed doing the job, and we really loved having him out here. But I gotta groom the younger generation, you know, get them ready to farm or do whatever. You know, I gotta give them the opportunity to work first. Man, look at that, boy, that's pretty. Tell you what, these yields have picked up ever since we got off those two small hills. I mean, we're routinely between 12, there's 1,400, 1,500 pounds per acre. And this ain't really even supposed to be our good cotton. I can tell you one thing, if these yields hold true, we're gonna be some wore out people by the time we get done. But maybe, just maybe, if the crop's good enough, maybe it'll open the door to having one of those baler pickers out here. Man, having one of them, that'd be the ticket on harvest. Nice, easy, and smooth. You know, no more having to mess with these module builders, no more having to tarp modules. Only need 3 things out here: the picker, a tractor to move the modules around, and then a bush hog to cut stalks. But right now we're looking at probably a minimum price tag for an older one. You know, probably one that's 10, 11, 12 years old. You're looking at a minimum price tag of probably right there $350,000. Then probably have to sink about $80,000 to $90,000 back into it, making sure it's in great shape and ready to go to the field, because probably all the heads would have to be gone through and a lot of stuff replaced on them. So by the time it's all said and done, I mean, you're looking right there close to $500,000 for one piece of equipment that we use for a couple weeks out of the year. More than likely it's going to happen sometime, but boy, that's a big pill to swallow there. All right, hold up now, I'm ready to dump. I got another problem too. The flag we normally run up here on top of the cab got misplaced sometime. I don't know where it went to. I'm probably going to have to rig up another one this evening. Can't be picking cotton without flying the stars and stripes. Look how happy he is. I remember cutting stalks was one of my first jobs out in the cotton field. Because when I was a kid, we didn't have module builders. We dumped everything into cotton trailers. When we picked the cotton the first time, my job was to drag cotton out of the baskets and to pack cotton down in the trailers, you know, when they get full. And then, because back in that day, we didn't use defoliants very much, we had to pick the cotton twice. Whenever we started on the second picking, my job when I got out of school was to cut the cotton stalks behind the pickers. Still to this day, that's one of my favorite jobs. I just don't get to hardly do it at all. About the only time I get to cut stalks is whenever I'm clearing out a spot to put the module builders or something like that. Oh crap, I just lost half my lights on the roof there. And this very outside snout right there, I snagged a branch that was just sticking out and hidden by weeds and being it pretty bad. And we was having such a good day running too. Well, let's get down here and see how bad the carnage is. Maybe I can take a big old crescent wrench and bend it back into place. Alright, well, she ain't perfect, but it'll do for now. Now what to do about my lights up there that ain't working. Ah yes, got back full power. No, you probably can't see it. That was the problem. That fuse is supposed to be yellow. It's a 20 amp fuse. I think it's seen better days. After checking all my fuses and circuit breakers up here and find a problem there. I remember I got a fuse box down there by the engine, and sure enough, that's where it was. Let's see if we can get a couple more acres knocked out this evening. Well, my lights have stayed on. I don't smell any smoke, don't smell any flames, so I guess my wiring's all right. My snout down there stayed in one piece too. Man, I don't know what it is about me and outside snouts. I've had my fair share of difficulties with them this year, from the corn head, now on the cotton picker head. I try to keep the rest of them in one piece for the rest of the harvest. But overall, we've had a pretty decent day. We've gotten 35 acres done. And with people getting used to their new roles out here in the cotton harvest, plus this really good cotton that we're harvesting, that ain't in small fields, that ain't a bad day at all. Hopefully we'll be able to improve on it a little bit tomorrow, but I'm probably on my last basket of the evening. Having a lot of fun watching the zombie trail trailers go around, because we're right there on the edge of where the zombie trail is, where they're driving around the cornfield. And I don't want to pick over there and get any closer and disturb the paying customers. So we're going to finish out this basket and call it a day and get back out here tomorrow. Get some more of this cotton out before weather comes in. I think we got a chance of rain tomorrow night and Sunday morning. So we'll try and get as much of this out as we can. But anyway, guys, I'll see you back here in the morning.